Well, hello. Hi, everybody. This is my foyer. As you can see, it's a little bit in disarray right now. I'm getting ready to for my trip tomorrow. But I'm always getting ready for a trip. I never completely unpack anything. But I'm going to England tomorrow. And I have something very special that I want to take with me. And this is a beautiful new Huffy case. I'm just so proud of this. From James Olson. Oh, there it is. Oh man, what a gorgeous guitar. I don't feel I'm worthy to have this. I really don't, but I'll take it anyway, kind of thing, you know. But at the same time, I'm just so blessed to have an instrument like this. I really am. So I feel like I don't know, maybe I represent more than just one guitar player, maybe several, But of course, I represent the Lord. That's what I do. There's so many things about this guitar, and we'll talk about it more. Let's go in the living room, Holly. Holly's right here behind you guys.
Hello.
And this is a few things that I gave my wife from different places in the world that I've been, and this is sort of our formal. This is our formal living room. And I think I'm okay to sit here, Holly. Is this good?
Mm-hmm.
By the fireplace. Now this guitar is Pernambuco. It's what they make fiddle bows out of. It's the same thing my other Olson is made out of. This one has a lot of fire in it. It's just a lot of color. And I was talking to Dick Boak over at Martin the other day, and I showed him my other guitar, and he said, yeah, Pernambuco is not something we see too much of because there's not that much of it to build a guitar. But James had several sets that he's had for, I think, 30 years or so. And correct me if I'm wrong, James, if you're watching this, but there's a lot of color in this wood. In fact, Dick over at Martin said if you drop a little piece of it in some water, it'll turn the water red, by the next day. It's pretty amazing. Beautiful. Pernambuco back here as well. Very hard, heavy piece of mahogany, but it's still perfectly balanced. The rigidness of the neck is what, as Kirk Sand, also one of my favorite builders, guitar builders, says that's a real secret to the sound of an Olson is because of the rigid necks and laminated so many times, and it brings a lot of the energy. I have very little time at home, so today I started out digging holes out in my yard. I still have glue all over my hands from repairing my sprinkler system thanks to my brother-in-law buddy Terrell that came over and got a job started, and we found another leak and fixed it. Now there are no more leaks. Get back to my guitar playing. Having a new guitar, it really does inspire you. It inspires me to play. I started playing some songs I haven't played in years, a little differently. So bright, so fair, Such a great guitar. I bowed on my knees and cried, holy. I cried, holy. Holy. I clapped my hands and sang glory. And it goes on from there. You know, one thing about traveling with the Booth Brothers, they got me to wanting to sing more, which is probably not a good thing. But hopefully I've gotten them to play in live music more too. And Ronnie Booth, a lot of people have been asking me about the Booth Brothers, how much I'll be involved with the Booth Brothers. Well, as much as I can. But Ronnie Booth is playing really some great guitar. And he got him a new DDSM. Well, I mean, they're not new. They don't make them anymore. But the Taylor Doyle Dykes model, and it is a beautiful brown sugar. And then his brother Michael has a new Fender bass, and I think a couple more on the way maybe. And those guys have really inspired me. Like I say, we need things. God knows we need things in our lives to inspire us. And sometimes it may be a new guitar. And sometimes it may be someone else that comes into your life that is an inspiration that you appreciate, you know. And John, Michael, and Paul, those three singers, I'm telling you, they don't get any better than that. And it's a different genre for a lot of people, Southern gospel music. But boy, they are really at the top of their game, and I've enjoyed very much traveling with them. Then they have a guy, we call him Coop, the driver, Steve Cooper, and then Robert, the sound guy, and Joe. They're all just wonderful guys, and we plan on doing some touring next year. And it looks like a possibility of a few more dates this year as well. I'm getting busy, and thank God for that, but I'm also doing the National Quartet Convention with them. I think it's the beginning of... either the end of this month or beginning of next month, I can't remember now. And also playing with a group called Triumphant, a quartet that asked me to play at their homecoming. And so it's like a new world has opened up for me with that. And I still enjoy playing in Calvary Chapel churches and Baptist, Methodist, Assemblies of God, Church of God, wherever the Lord, Presbyterian churches, and a lot of independent churches around. And so God has opened the door for me through the years. The guitar crosses a lot of barriers, you know. This thing doesn't necessarily, you know, for some people when I was growing up, that not all churches had guitars in there, but now there are a few that don't. And so I think that's a blessing. To talk about my guitar a little more, this is a Sitka top. And look at the work of the marquetry and stuff. I mean, this is all... purely James Olson's genius. I mean, he is just remarkable. He really is. I wish you could see this guitar in person, but it is truly a work of art. Of course, the doves on the neck, they're just gorgeous. But there was something he asked me if he could. He said, "Would you like to have a rose on your guitar?" And I thought, well, you know, why not? The first guitar I had seen, the first acoustic guitar with a rose on it, was an Olson. That's before my Taylor even came out. It was before I think I was even affiliated with Taylor. I was playing a Kirk Sand guitar at the time. And Kirk and I were friends, and he told me what a great builder James Olson was, and I met him. And for all these years, I've always wanted an Olson guitar. And so he put that on there, and it's just an amazing compliment to me and the story of White Rose for Heidi. A story and a song, as a lot of you know, most of you know, I've played around the world. Little things that you wouldn't know, but this key, or this tuner right here, is just slightly taller than the others, so I can do the the string bend. But I have to, instead of doing like I did on the Taylor, I just do it like a Telecaster. Like that. works with all those things. Now, if you can notice, the string's been incredibly easy. The reason for that, these are stainless steel frets. Something that only one of my tailors ever had on it. Bob Taylor came to me one day and said, would you like to try some stainless frets? I said, amen. And so we put it on one of my guitars. I think he said they spent over $300 in tools just putting those on. So they didn't make any more, for me anyway. But this is something that James has done a lot of in the past years and is very familiar with. Of course, this one has a cutaway, and it has the LB6, just like all my other guitars have. The LB6 Lloyd Baggs pickup, and it has a little Randy Hughes, a good friend of mine in Asheville, North Carolina, actually put the little preamp inside that has a little spinning wheel for volume, just volume control, nothing else. You don't have any other preamp on it or anything like that. So for you guys that have been wanting to see my new Olson, I just picked it up on my last trip, in fact, and flew up to Minneapolis just to get this guitar. I will be taking this to England, so say a prayer everything goes well with that and is kept safe, and I'm sure it will be.
And you're
Any
playing
questions?
at the London Acoustic Show this weekend?
I will be at the London Acoustic Show, downtown London. I'm not even sure exactly where it is. Once I get there, they pick me up and they put me where I'm supposed to be, and all I know is what time I'm supposed to be there and all that. My friend Rob. Yeah, you can go to my website for all that information. It's put on by Acoustic Guitar Magazine, or Acoustic Magazine, that I wrote for years. And that was, I'll never forget, I was with Robert Wilson, and I was doing a Taylor event, and these guys showed up at one of my events and said, would you consider writing a column for our magazine? I think it came out bi-monthly at the time. I thought, well, I'm not a writer, I'm a guitar player, but I thought, well, that might be fun to do. So I started doing that, and it was the thing that really helped me along, I guess, to start when I started writing my book, The Lights of Marfa. So it's just a way to stay in contact with more guitar players. So I did it for about 7 years. These are great guys. So I hope if you're in the London area, please come over and be a part of that. It's going to be fun.
And you're also playing a special service at St. Martin's Church on the 13th, 7 p.m.
Yes, and this is in Nebworth, which is only about 30 miles north of London. It takes about an hour to get there, but St. Martin's is one of my favorite places to play. I remember the first time I played there, I played the Wabash Cannonball, and I'm thinking, well, I'll probably never come back here, so I'll just do what I do. And I said, now here's an American folk song, and they bought it, and it's a song about a train. And so they've had me back, I think, about 9 times. And Robert Wilson and Mary, that'll be hosting me at their home also this weekend. They don't have to, because I had a hotel, a very nice hotel in downtown London, but they said, no, we'd like for you to stay with us over at the cottage. They have a special little cottage there. And then that's their church. Beautiful place. And the Litton Cobble family that owned the Nebworth house that I played at, that hopefully they'll be there this weekend too. And we're doing a couple other things, just community-minded things that Rob and Mary are always involved in things. So.
And we had a couple of comments. If you guys would comment with your question again. I know we have some tuning in from North Carolina, Kentucky, Idaho, Florida. I probably missed some.
Wow.
I believe I had a question about if you do your own guitar setups.
Well, when you play a guitar like this, I don't touch it most of the time. Of course, this is brand new. If it needs tweaking, just a truss rod thing is usually all I do. But for years, I mean, I've always just kind of tweaked my guitars around. But I would but mostly with a truss rod or lower or raise the bridge. In this case, I don't do that, but unless there's a shim under there, and I think there is probably. But James is such a genius. I mean, the only thing I asked him to do was take a little off the rails here, and it was so. And I felt like an idiot saying that to James Olson. And then when I saw him before I picked it up, I'm thinking, oh Lord, and he says, well, I tell you, Doyle, I took very, very little off the back. And I said, all I was wanting, maybe even the depth of the finish, but just because I do, you know, like these thumb over thing, and it's just perfect. When he handed it to me, I could feel the difference. But no, you know, this is one guitar I had nothing to do with, really. I mean, this is, like I said, James Olson's genius in this. You don't tell a man like that how to make a guitar. However, through the years, I've learned a lot of things playing other guitars, and I think when he designed this particular body style, as Kirk Sand said, he nailed it from the very beginning. And I've had guitars that were very similar to this, and I did a different spin on the guild, made a little more narrow, and it's pretty much what this is already, you know. But I'll be honest with you, through the years, I'd also look at James's guitars and just look, why would he do this and why would he do that? And it's just kind of those things you learn from, and learn from Kirk Sand as well. Kirk makes one of the greatest guitars in the world. So
your acoustic pedalboard setup, what do you prefer for that?
Oh, it's upstairs. Shall we walk up there? No, Mom may not like that. I just actually rewired it. I got up early this morning, went up there and just kind of, you know, tightened some things and cleaned it up a little bit. The reason for that was I had to have a power supply that I could convert to 220 or whatever it is over there. But I start off with a little mini, what do you call that, TC tuner. I can't think of the name of it, mini tuner. And then I have an RE20, which is a Boss. It's an Echo, actually, and it emulates the old tape Echoes. And then I have a Hall of Fame that's a TC also. But I only use one setting on that. It's a reverb, actually, but that's for the sort of that ethereal sound, almost like an orchestral type thing, pad under you when you're playing. And so that's ethereal sound, and the angelic sound comes from a pedal that Eric Johnson gave me. It's a Strymon Blue Sky, I think is the name of that one, and it is amazing. It has the sound and the feel like strings behind it, like synth type things. When you're playing by yourself, I just thought, why not throw that in there if it enhances it? You just have to be careful not to use too much of it, and that's the tricky part. And that's where you just play with it until you find what you want. And I've learned not to second guess myself too much. I usually use the same settings all the time.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Is there anything else you wanted to add to the update?
Well, you know, we're going to be, you know, we promised free guitar lessons a few months ago. We're still working on that. The reason we didn't start that in May were some family things going on with Haley and her baby, and in fact, she just left. But some physical things, and you know, it was just a difficult summer. Thank God everything's good. And for those, even our dog's doing better. We thought she was a goner about 3 weeks ago. And so we've had little things like that. I mean, I've actually literally come home and slept on a couch right next to her because I mean, she's part of our family. And the guy that was going to do the videos got real busy with his employer. I'll tell you more about that, but there's some really cool things that are going to happen in the Chattanooga area, in the area of guitars and collector guitars and that sort of thing. But you know, now we're talking to some new people about doing something on a regular basis that I can put online, as well as and start the free guitar lessons and do it right. I think you'll like it, and it's going to be a fun thing. So forgive us for not starting when we wanted to, but it'll be on here before Christmas. And by the way, Christmas, we have a lot of Christmas concerts coming up. Keep up with me on the site. Some of the things that I'm doing will be with the Booth Brothers. And what I usually do with them is I'll go out and do 30 minutes, and then I'll bring them on. They'll do about 45. Then we'll have a break. and then I'll come back with them and do another 30, 45 minutes. And so that's kind of what those shows are, and they're wonderful. If you haven't seen those, just because it's not my own thing, don't hesitate to come out because you'll enjoy that.
In Indiana anytime soon?
That's a part of that's going to be with the Booth Brothers. I'm not able to do as many. I'm planning on doing at least 1 or 2 nights in Shipshewana, which is up in the northern part. I also talked to a large church in South Bend that wants me to come in the 1st of December. They haven't confirmed that yet. If I knew the name of the church, I'd tell you, but I don't. I can't remember. I just met the pastor on the phone. He's a friend of mine, a friend of a friend. That's the way a lot of those things go. I'm doing a lot of my own scheduling, and so you can contact me, and also Holly on the website.
Holly at DoyleDykes.com.
Yeah, Holly, Holli. So if you want me to come to your church, it is not an impossible thing, believe me, and we'll work something out. Also, Mike Robertson is still helping us out because I'm on the road so much, and dynamic artists. They're still doing the theaters and the festivals, and I think they're going to put me back at the Iridium if we can find the date up in New York City for some of you that may be up in that area. But watch out for us in the Indiana area. We're also talking with Sweetwater about doing something else up there again, maybe for Gretsch this time. So, man, we'll see how that works out. I would love to do that.
Did you say the wood on the back and sides of your guitar, what the wood was?
This is Pernambuco, 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 and that's what they make fiddle bows out of, typically. And that's what the back and sides are, and also the top is Sitka. Yeah, it's a beautiful instrument. Here's another guitar over here that's kind of a cool guitar to have because it has a lot of signatures. I gave this one to my wife last year. I even signed it. But it has a lot of Lee Rocker is here. Jimmy Vaughn, Rick Vito, Rick Fure was a wonderful guy. Priscilla Presley, right here. How about that? Paul Schaefer, and James Burton right here in the middle. It was something I got for doing the James Burton Festival. And Billy Burnett, a great writer and singer, performer in Nashville. And this is over here is a piano that was a gift from me to my wife. And I played a concert out in Texas, believe it or not, and they blessed me so much. I just said, well, I'm going to take every bit of that and buy my wife a piano. So that was her gift a couple of years ago. We've been real blessed with a nice home, nice place, and so we're thankful for everything we have. And I just pray that God, Lord, bless every person that has watched this tonight and encourage them in their music, encourage them and not only to learn to play more, but to use it in a very special way and open doors for them that they may do more with it. And we thank you for it in Jesus' name. By the way, too, this is 9/11, September the 11th week. And so remember those that still, even though it seems like 14 years has been a long time, it hasn't been that long for somebody that has lost a loved one. So pray for all those and also for our servicemen and women around the world. And I guess that's it. God bless y'all. Come out in London if you're around there. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and being there.
Yeah, and you can stay up with dates also on Facebook.com/Doyle Dykes.
Sorry I didn't shave. Oh well.
All right. Thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in for all your nice comments. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.